Welcome into DC On Screen episode 373. I am your host, David C. Robertson, and in his triumphant return, my co-host, Jason Goss.
Now I'm back, baby.
Today we're going to be doing our little review and recap of Gotham 3x16. Heroes rise, these delicate and dark obsessions. To recap, Penguin's old crew betrays him, but Ivy has a plan to find him an army of freaks. Bruce begins his training with a mysterious magical acupuncture artist who wants him to face his memories of Crime Alley. The enigmatic figure tells Bruce his destiny is to become a symbol that defends Gotham. The Court of Owls imports some kind of weapon, and Gordon's Uncle Frank sacrifices himself so that Gordon can join the court and continue the family's plan to take them down. So, first off, with the court at the very beginning,
I was laughing.
Totally.
I was literally laughing at it.
I paused it and wrote this.
Can I preface that by saying, I don't know if you agree, but I enjoyed this episode. I thought it was pretty strong.
It was all right.
But it opened with like, I'll let you say what you wrote down.
Yeah, I wrote down, and now before we vote to decide the fate of Gotham, let us turn the platform to reveal a miniature of the city, so that we may gaze upon it to glean in some small way what we must destroy.
I wrote down masks, feathers, arts and craft Gotham. I am not intimidated.
What was the point of any of that crap?
I know they had to vote and all that. It's just
they're a secret society. Who are they performing for?
I know. Like, it's everyone in that room should. I get that there's some decorum to what goes on in these kinds of things. There are traditions. There's I know a fair amount of what happens inside the Freemasons, for instance, and there's like a little bit of ritualism that's kind of there for a reason. I get ritualism. It's just this was silly.
Mm-hmm.
This was just silly. Everyone place their feather down if they agree.
Where do we get these feathers? Home Depot.
And by the way, that feather is too long to be an owl's, I'm pretty sure. I don't know from what on that, but it just felt like it was bigger than an owl feather.
Right. And definitely bigger than a bread box.
Definitely bigger than a bread box. All right, I got a laugh out of this too, and this is one of those like I laughed and I was happy. This is a more positive laugh. As soon as he starts mentioning like chronic hepatitis, like Bullock goes into like MD mode, like, oh yeah, liver growth, yeah, the Irish, what do they call it, the Irish plague or whatever.
It's like the Irish curse,
or something like that. And like he went into like the medical description of it, and I just kind of like giggled, like, oh, it makes sense that Bullock would be medically like. He sounded like a Wikipedia page.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you could have gotten any better information from an actual doctor than he had on that. And I actually thought he was going to say that he knew so much about that because he drinks so much that he looked up what might happen to him. But it made more sense for it to be like, oh, the old Irish curse.
I don't know that it made more sense.
By the way, my Irish guy is a pirate, apparently.
Yeah, I know. It's one of those small things that I've just learned to live with.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I could do a better one if I worked on it, but screw it.
Well, my Irish guy is basically just a Scottish guy, but who sounds kind of happy.
That's actually about right. Anyway, yeah. So they're doing the they've cleansed the city twice before. They're straight up doing the Snyder version of Court of Owls. Like they've done this many times before. It's time to cleanse the city again. You know.
I mean, I wouldn't say straight up. But
the theme on that is like when the Court of Owls thinks the city needs to be cleansed, they do it. And I think in Court of Owls they've done it more than twice. But still, like the fact that they've done it before, they're pulling straight from the original storyline.
I'm trying to get a bead on their motivations here, though. I mean,
what is it exactly they think needs cleansed so badly?
Why have we jumped to this conclusion now?
Yeah.
And you got like Uncle Frank going, when the court has decided something, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's good. Like, oh, now they want you dead, so I'm gonna die, and then you become an owl.
Yeah. That actually was cool though. I mean,
it seemed cool.
It was
stupid because it didn't make any sense.
It did make sense.
None of this makes any sense.
I think it made sense because Frank had been kind of dual agenting the entire time.
Yes.
And that was, that was part of it, but that can't last forever. And I think, bullet to the head so Gordon can finish what his dad started, and he can also, like, I guess, give himself his own punishment for having to kill for murdering his brother, essentially. That all makes sense. It's kind of poetic. I thought it was, end of the day, that's good writing.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, the Court of Owls, one would think, like, if they're like, that Gordon's a troublemaker. Hey, Frank, kill your brother, right? And then, then you got this Jim Gordon character who comes along, says, "Oh man, this guy killed my dad. I gotta kill him." This is what they're supposed to be thinking. You know what? We sent him to, take down Jim Gordon. Jim Gordon killed him instead. We're just gonna give him the seat. Why wouldn't he try to take down the court?
They essentially sent Frank, though, to recruit Jim.
First,
because they thought he'd be a powerful ally, but they and the only reason they sent him to take him down, like when she I forget her head owl's name, but when she realizes that Jim needs to be killed, she like audibly sighs and says, "Well, take him out, I guess." Like she wants him more as an ally than is recommended. Like, you're right, she should be looking into it more, and it kind of doesn't make sense that they're not just like killing everyone who might possibly be a threat. That part I'll give you, but it's just she wants him so bad as an ally that she's willing to take a risk on him.
Yeah, that is that part that doesn't make sense to me. I get what you're saying, but at the same time,
you see what I'm saying about like the roundabout of Frank and the story had to end, and that all makes sense. Like that part, I got to give him credit there. Like it's well rounded, makes sense. Comes to a satisfying conclusion. You get a nice.
I am not satisfied. I will say that the guy that played Uncle Frank, I can't ever remember his name, but he actually did a good job this time.
Yeah.
He was a little wooden before, but here he did a good job.
I can't remember where I've seen him before, but he's one of those people where like every time I see his face, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be good. We're gonna be fine.
I don't know.
Those like character actors, you just see them every now and then, and you go, oh, we're in good hands. And then you immediately forget about him. And then you see him again and you go, oh, we're fine.
I don't know.
This will be a fine episode.
I've never had that exact feeling about the guy. But
well, even then I'll like look him up on IMDb and go, oh, and then I'll completely forget. And next time I see him, it'll be like me swimming around in the goldfish bowl again, like, oh, that guy. And then IMDb him again.
That makes total sense. Oh my gosh. Not what you said.
What?
But the whole time I've been watching this, watching him on Gotham, I was like, he reminds me of Raiden from that second crappy Mortal Kombat movie. I just looked him up. He was Raiden in that second crappy movie.
Oh.
I'm like, I knew that awful voice.
That makes sense, actually. I do remember him being there.
Why aren't you Christopher Lambert?
Is that the one where they just killed Johnny Cage like in the first 5 minutes?
Yeah, Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Yeah, that one actually messed with me when I was a kid. I'm like, but he's a character. You can't just snap his neck. You sure can.
Why is Liu Kang the only actor still there?
Yeah. Anyway. All right, so I really wanted to like Ivy. I want to so badly. And then she's like a complete idiot. And then like she'll do something and I'll think like, oh, okay, I can kind of get behind that. And then she'll just say something. I think, oh yeah, no, you need to go.
I don't know. This is, in one way, I kind of feel like, like the Ivy of TAS, the Ivy of the comics, a smarter cat.
She was a planner.
On the other hand, this Ivy, we have to remember, is still like, what, 14, 15 years old?
Yeah, I mean, I that's the thing is, like, I keep seeing it in her that she's really just a child. It's not that the actress actually isn't doing a decent job at playing like an adult who's acting like a kid. It's just that I'm not sure I like the concept that much.
I don't know. I literally wrote down, Ivy is officially fun.
You think so, finally? What won you over?
Yeah.
I finally did have a moment where I kind of went, I might be there, but for me, it was like later when Penguin goes crazy on his old mate there.
I think Robin Lord Taylor just automatically ups the level of anyone he's playing off of.
Probably. Man, that guy commits.
I mean, not to take away from her performance, because I think she was a lot of fun. She did a lot. I mean, she was just fun. She, angry that he was such a jerk, and she did play it like a little kid, like a little 14, 15-year-old kid.
That's the thing. It's like I'm right there on the edge. I want to like the concept, and I've got nothing against the actress at this point. I'm glad she's throwing pots at people, but I'm not quite there yet. And I think I think I just need a little more time with her, and I think where they're going with like her wrangling a freak army for Penguin, I think I might dig Ivy by the end of this.
Yeah.
And she finally did have a moment at the end where, like, because I went back and forth a little bit through the episode. And by the end, when she's just standing by and kind of like wincing, like, ooh, that's gotta hurt. When the guy gets brutally killed with the tiny garden instrument. I kept thinking, how would you even kill a man that big with that tool? I don't even understand.
I watched that scene 4 or 5 times. In fact, I watched all of the death scenes like 4 or 5 times in this episode because Ben McKenzie, you weren't there. Ben McKenzie did this interview where he was talking about how he loves the violence on the show and how is violence with class, how they have elegance.
So you wanted to test his theory?
Well, I mean, not really. Just me and Bethany cracked up over the whole thing because it was like, not really, dude, but okay.
Well, I think maybe what he means is like it's kind of Hitchcockian a little. It turns away, but you still see the effect. Like,
I mean, I watched them literally behead a man this week. I don't feel like they turn away too much.
That's a good point. By the way, that scene, that's some of the best choreography I've seen in a while.
Yes,
that looked phenomenal. Awesome. I mean, it's nonsensical. It doesn't make sense that you can dodge bullets by doing flips, but it looks fantastic. So I will take it. There's suspension of disbelief, and then there's willful suspension of disbelief. I will smack myself in the head right in the temple and disbelief that that's a problem, and absolutely enjoy him flipping around and killing people.
Mm-hmm. I did enjoy the Barbara and Tabitha reaction to that. Like, oh, yeah,
we should go. I did like that. Like, even Falcone never asked about 9C. You know?
Yeah.
Like Barbara's getting in way over her head, and I'm finally enjoying something they're doing with Barbara with that. Like, she's way out of her depth.
Yeah, but I mean, every time she gets out of her depth, she seems to just grow longer legs.
I know, and that's fine. But they've still got like, I think it'll be a lot of fun. I just wish she'd chew a little less scenery when she's doing stuff.
That would be nice, wouldn't it? That's
still my only thing. It's I think they finally got a good direction with Barbara. I really do wish she would pull back a little bit. Tabitha's perfect.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Tabitha's she's playful and kind of vile. Like you fear her, but like you think she's enjoying herself, and that's you're actually more afraid of her for that. She's got it on the nose, I think. And if like Barbara was following her lead, I think a little bit, or Aaron Richards, I guess was. I think we'd be in a little bit better space.
I doubt that's going to happen. There's even more evidence stacking up that Barb's going to become Harley.
Yeah, it's kind of pointing in that direction. And if they go full-fledged with it, where she's just a clown, that's actually fine. I mean, the thing is, she's like right in the middle right now for me. Again, apparently there's a lot of like right in the middles for me, I guess, in Gotham right now. But if she went whole hog and was just an absolute jester, I might be happy with that. I mean, I liked her in the elevator in that scene from earlier this year, when she really was just like his little court jester for his mental trip. That actually was good. I enjoyed her there. Mm-hmm. If that's what we do with her, it's actually, I'm good. I'm down. But you can't be a mob boss that's almost clownish, is my point. Like, the Joker isn't a mob boss who's almost clownish. The Joker's a mob boss who's batshit crazy, and you don't need to get in the way of. Mm-hmm. And they're like toying with that dynamic, but not really going far enough with it, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, can I give you a couple lines I left?
Sure.
No one gave you a gold star for thuggery?
Yeah.
That was good. And I just, something we hadn't talked about yet, but we might as well get into, I guess. You've never left that alley, Bruce. Not really.
Yeah, I like that. Jumping back, though, I really loved Oh, boss, when the guys hear you're still alive, they'll come running. What do you want me to do? That, Gabe! That!
and when Gabe's under the trance, it's a tiny freak who used to hold an umbrella, nothing more.
Yeah.
Oh,
that was rough.
That's rough. I mean, I could see killing him. I could see killing him.
But yeah, I guess we'll get into Shaman real quick. He was alright. I didn't care. Like, it was fine. I thought it was interesting that he said a symbol against fear as opposed to the Nolan concept of a symbol of fear. Not really a Nolan concept. It was
it's just something he leaned on a little bit.
But
no, the idea, one of the ideas of that symbol, that symbol in the sky is supposed to. It's not supposed to be. It's fear for those who induce fear in others, but it's supposed to be a symbol of hope for anybody who just wants to live their damn life in Gotham. Mm-hmm. They're supposed to be able to look up at that and go, "Oh man, thank God he's on it."
Yeah,
like good, he's out tonight. I needed to do some shopping. Mm-hmm. I can go to the bodega without getting mugged.
Yeah.
Like, that's what that's supposed to be for a lot of people. And I liked them kind of leaning on this a little bit. And I really liked the line he pulled up, fear breeds hopelessness. Mm-hmm. It's a cool concept. That's something I could kind of chew on for a while.
I'm not sure how I feel about someone having, I don't know, instilled in Bruce something so early on. Like, I feel like this is like a puppet master situation as opposed to just Bruce being like, nah, man, this is something that's got to happen because this is my deal.
Yeah, I mean, we're used to the idea that he made that promise at bedside, and just it was something he did out of pure will, and Alfred joined the battle. Like, that's the story we're used to. But
which you should never keep a promise that you made at bedside because,
you're about to go to bed. You were drowsy.
You're drowsy. Your brain's not right. You wake up, suddenly you've got a whole different perspective.
It's like a New Year's resolution. You were drunk, man. You were drunk.
More rational. Nothing good ever happens after 2 a.m.
No, that's what how many people, and write us in if you've done it, have ever planned to go to a spin class at 6 a.m. when you were drunk at 12:30 talking to one of your friends? I've watched this happen. I have watched people make plans like, we're going to go to the gym early in the morning. You're drunk right now, dude. There's no freaking way. Like, you have had 8 shots while I've been watching and you pre-gamed. You're not going to be at spin class at 6 a.m. It's never going to happen.
Yeah,
I did. I liked I liked the little training scenes though, and there has been David Mizzou has been talking a lot about how his time in wherever it is he is now is he's going to be betrayed over there. Like, it's going to take him to a dark place. I think he's going to start being taken down this road, and then he's going to take the decision on himself. Like, I feel like they're trying to push him in a certain way. He's going to realize that maybe they're doing it for their own reasons. He's going to betray them and then decide, you know what, they were right about a couple things, and then take it upon himself. I think that's where that goes.
Sure. Also,
it's Gotham's rewriting their own book. If they want to do it as like a puppet master and he had a mentor, okay. If it's a decent mentor, then I can be down with that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm on board. I'm just, it's a little weird for me.
Yeah.
What I'm not on board for is Lee. Just Lee.
Lee in general, just done with it right now.
Like,
how can you just do that? How can you just walk away from all that damage you caused? Like, oh, God.
Leave a path of destruction in your wake.
I'm just a little done with her right now, and I hate that because I really loved that character.
Yeah, I like that actress, and I like the character as presented in the books, but right now they're not doing much with her that I care about.
I liked her on the show. Past tense. Right now, this is bullshit.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Oh, I've just got one more thing. These delicate and dark obsessions. Who wrote that title? That's just weird. That's just a dumb title. Like, seriously, like, one of the Bronte sisters wouldn't have written that title. They would have thought, oh no, I should probably call it Wuthering Heights.
Mm-hmm. I might have written that title.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we gotta be out. There's did you see the promo for next week? Basically looks like the Court versus Enigma.
Oh, that sounds cool. I haven't seen the promo, but that sounds cool.
Yeah, it looks cool. It looks cool. Oh, man.
It was a meaty episode. I'm glad we spent some time on it.
Yeah. Guys, we hope you enjoyed this episode of DC on Screen. If you watch Gotham and you have, you shouldn't be listening to this if you don't. But, if you got any opinions about Gotham you would like to talk to us about, you can message us, and we'll throw it on the air, see what happens.
And you're guaranteed to
DC
get on the air because we do not get enough opinions about Gotham from people.
We don't. DCOnscreen@gmail.com. You can also hit us up on Twitter and Facebook at DCOnscreen, one word. We're about to come right back with Lucifer 214 Candy Morningstar. Little recap and review of that. Until then, guys, keep some DC on your screen.